Hello everyone, welcome to Biology. My dear student, we are learning chapter 8 Human Health and Disease. And today we will learn about common disease in humans. So my dear student, today we will discuss some of the common diseases in human. So when you hear common diseases, in human means some of the disease that is more and often found in human population. So or among human population you will find some of the diseases are very common. Okay, so my dear student, number one common disease is human. Number one, we will learn about typhoid. So I hope that all of you have heard about typhoid. So my dear student, today we will learn about typhoid. That means what type of disease is typhoid and what is the cause of this typhoid. That means who is the causing organism. Okay, or what is the reason behind this typhoid? What are the symptoms? How this is transmitted? Clear? So my dear student, causative organism or we can say pathogen. So pathogen means what? The organism that is causing the disease. Okay, who is responsible for the disease is known as pathogen. So typhoid, it is a common disease and causative organism for typhoid is an bacterium. Okay, it is a bacterium named Salmonella typhi. So Salmonella typhi is the pathogen of the disease typhoid. Okay, so you keep in your mind that typhoid pathogen is Salmonella typhi. So my dear student, one picture here you can see. So these are Salmonella typhi, that bacterium. Okay, so Salmonella typhi bacteria you can see here in diagram. So these are Salmonella typhi. Then my dear student, now let us see that how this Salmonella typhi, okay, mode of transmission, that means how they form disease in human. Okay, now see, any pathogen, if they are outside the body or they are not in contact with the human body, they cannot do anything harm to that body. Okay, they cannot cause disease by remaining outside. So they have to enter the body, then only what happen, the damage of the body or the disease will occur. Otherwise what happen, if they remain outside, then if they are not in contact with the body, then they cannot do anything harm to the body. Okay, now let us see that mode of transmission, that means how they are transmitted to human body. So my dear student, pathogens, so which pathogen? Salmonella typhi. Okay, so Salmonella typhi generally enter the small intestine through contaminated food and water. Okay, so Salmonella typhi, how it entered the human body? Through contaminated food. So at first they will target the food and water. Okay, so in contaminated food means that are been infected by the microorganism. So that contaminated food and water. Okay, if you are not taking care of the food, okay, food hygiene and water hygiene, then what happen, this Salmonella typhi may be present in that food items or water, and if you take that contaminated food and water, then this type of pathogen may enter your body. Okay, and their target, see, each and every pathogen has its target. Now Salmonella typhi, the target is the small intestine. Okay, so human small intestine is their target, so they will reach there and migrate to other organs through blood. So at first they will their target organ, they will reach the target organ, that is small intestine, and they will remain there. Okay, then through reproduction process they will increase their number, and from that small intestine they will migrate to each organs in the body through the blood stream. Okay, and this is how Salmonella typhi travel inside the human body. Okay, so my dear student, I hope that you have understood the mode of transmission. So at first what they will do, the pathogen, they will be present in the food. Okay, so if you are not taking care of your food, if you are keeping the food open, okay, and if you are not looking the hygiene of the food, then Salmonella typhi may be present in the food. Okay, so while eating food we should be very careful. Okay, washing of the food, washing of the vegetables, again your food items before cooking, then after cooking. Okay, so after cooking your food should be properly covered. Okay, this thing you know. So these are some of the steps that you should be very careful. And your water, so your drinking water should be very proper. Okay, then what happen if this thing, okay, you take care of your food and drinking water, and if you see the hygiene and if you maintain the hygiene, then what happen, the pathogen will never enter your body. Okay, but if unfortunately if it enters your body, then their target is always small intestine of your body, and from small intestine what happen, they will migrate to the other organs of your body through the blood stream. Okay, then my dear student, if Salmonella typhi entered a human body, okay, and they have chosen the small intestine, then through the small intestine somehow they have increased their population, and now through the blood stream they have started to reach the different organs. Then what are the symptoms that a person will show? Okay, so sustained high fever. So whenever Salmonella typhi, this pathogen, infect the body, then what happen, high fever will sustain. So there will be high fever in the body, that we can say 39 degree to 40 degree Celsius. A high fever will be there in the body. Okay, then weakness will be there, stomach pain will be there. So stomach pain is very obvious because small intestine is been affected. Okay, so then constipation will be there. Okay, then headache will be there, loss of appetite will be there, that person will not feel to eat anything. So these are the symptoms that will be seen in the person infected by Salmonella typhi. Then my dear student, intestinal perforation. Okay, so intestinal perforation, that means if the intestine, that wall is somehow damaged and some holes are made on that wall by the pathogen. Okay, if Salmonella typhi, they increase their number and somehow the wall of the small intestine is been damaged, and some holes, small holes are been made by this Salmonella typhi, then what happen, that person may face death also. Okay, so intestinal perforation and death may occur in severe cases. So if the cases, okay, for people, okay, are unaware of this pathogen, and if it enters and for a long time, if this fever is also there, okay, stomach pain, weakness, then headache, loss of appetite, and these are for a long time, okay, it remains in the body, then what happen, then the person may face death also. Now why this death may occur, because that small intestine, that wall may be completely damaged, and if small holes are been created by this pathogen, that person in severe cases may face death also. So you can imagine that typhoid, it is also a very severe disease which is seen in human body. Okay, so my dear student, diagnosis. That means how we will come to know that the person is been infected by Salmonella typhi. That means the person is having typhoid disease. So there is a test which is known as Widal test. So Widal test. So anywhere in hospitals or in diagnostic center, if anywhere if you see that people are doing the Widal test, then you'll come to know that that person is trying to know whether he or she is been infected by Salmonella typhi or whether they have typhoid or not. So to ensure that they are doing the test, that is Widal test. So my dear student, I hope that you came to know about typhoid. So typhoid, it is a common disease in humans. Okay, now in your surrounding, if people are facing this kind of symptoms, then you may ask them to do viral test. Now if the test is negative, then what happen? That person is not facing this typhoid disease. But if the test is positive, then that person will definitely, he or she is facing this disease. Okay, so after the diagnosis or after we came to know about the disease, then there will be some proper treatment also. Okay, so my dear student, number one common disease we came to know about typhoid. So typhoid causative organism or pathogen is Salmonella typhi. This name you should keep in your mind. Okay, and diagnosis or diagnostic test. Okay, the test through which we will recognize whether the person is having typhoid or not, the disease, the test is known as Widal test. Then my dear student, number second is pneumonia. So pneumonia, the causative organism or pathogen is Streptococcus pneumonia. So Streptococcus pneumonia is a type of bacteria. Okay, so you can see in diagram this picture. So this picture shows this Streptococcus pneumonia. This is the structure, magnified structure of Streptococcus pneumonia. So my dear student, pneumonia is caused due to Streptococcus pneumonia. Okay, and another organism is Haemophilus influenzae. So Haemophilus influenzae, this is also another bacteria. So these two are the organism or the pathogens which are responsible for disease pneumonia. Okay, then my dear student, let us know that how the this pathogen are transmitted through the human population. So mode of transmission, how this is spread. Okay, or how the pathogen infect the person. So my dear student, this Streptococcus pneumonia, it infects the alveoli. So alveoli of the lungs. So alveoli, I hope that you could remember the term alveoli. So alveoli is a small unit of lungs. Okay, so our lung have some small air bag. Okay, and that small air bags are known as alveoli. So what happened? This Streptococcus pneumonia or Haemophilus influenza, their target organ is lungs. Okay, so their target organ in human body is lungs. So as in typhoid we have seen that Salmonella typhi, their target organ is small intestine. So here for pneumonia, okay, this is Streptococcus pneumonia or Haemophilus influenza, their target organ is the lungs. Okay, so in lungs small air bags are there which are known as alveoli. So they will infect the alveoli of the lungs. Okay, so as a result of the infection, okay, so as a result of the infection, the alveoli get filled with fluid leading to severe problems in respiration. So my dear student, we know that in our lungs, these air bags or alveoli are meant for exchange of gases. Okay, exchange of gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now see, in place of this exchange of gases, if that air bag is filled with the fluid, okay, and these fluids are produced by this pathogen, Streptococcus pneumonia or Haemophilus influenza. Okay, now instead of this air, now if this fluid capture the space in that alveoli, then the person will obviously feel a very problem in breathing. So whenever this Streptococcus pneumonia or Haemophilus influenza they infect the person, that person will feel very hard to breathe. Okay, they will feel very problem in respiration, in breathing they will show some uneasiness. Okay, they will be not able to breathe properly. Okay, so then, my dear student, a healthy person acquires the infection by inhaling the droplets or aerosols released by an infected person, or even by sharing glasses and utensils which an infected person uses. Okay, so my dear student, a healthy person, okay, an infected person is there, okay, and he or she is infected by this Streptococcus pneumonia, okay, and he is having a disease pneumonia. Now if that person, okay, he snitches, okay, then what happen, some or through his speech, okay, he's talking and now some droplets have been released in air, then that through that droplets also what happen, a healthy person may acquire the disease pneumonia. Or if, okay, by coughing he is spitting here and there, and through that also what happen, a healthy person may acquire this disease pneumonia. Or even by sharing the utensils, okay, or whatever things the infected person is using, okay, if that things are being used by another one, then he may also have this disease pneumonia. That means you can see that this pneumonia, it is a communicable disease, isn't it? So through communication what happened, this thing have been spreading from one person to another. So healthy person may acquire this kind of disease by inhaling the droplets, okay, or aerosol that is released by the infected person, and even by sharing the belongings of that infected person, the healthy person may acquire. Okay, so you may think that, so today in our environment due to coronavirus, okay, the thing is very much similar with this pneumonia, isn't it? So in coronavirus also you are asked to wear the mask so that the droplets or the aerosol, okay, from a person to another, it may not spread. Clear? Then a social distance, that is personal distance, has to be maintained. So similarly, okay, so similarly pneumonia also, if a person is been infected by this a disease called pneumonia, then that person should maintain a distance from the healthy person, okay, then the healthy person may not be infected by this disease. Okay, so I hope that you understood the mode of transmission. So this pathogen Streptococcus pneumonia, their target is the lungs. So lungs means in respiration and breathing that person will face problem, isn't it? So my dear student, now let us see what are the symptoms. If pneumonia, a person is going through the disease pneumonia, okay, suffering from the disease pneumonia, then what are the symptoms that person may have? They will have fever, okay, so they will have fever, chills, cough and headache, okay, so they will have cough, it is very obvious, okay, so in breathing what happened, they are having problem, and that fluid that are released by the pathogen have been taking the space in the lungs. As a result what happened, cough will be there, okay, headache will be there. Clear? So these are the symptoms that a person will have. Then my dear student, in severe cases, okay, and if this thing are unknown, okay, and for a long time the person is suffering from this disease, then the lips and fingernails may turn gray to bluish in color. So if this thing remain for a long time and if the cases become severe, then the lips and the fingernails of the person will turn to bluish. Okay, now you can see the nails and the leaves of the person are uh, grayish, or we can say okay, so because our body is having oxygen, okay, and you know that when the blood stream, okay, and our body is filled with oxygen, then the color will be very glowing and bright. But when the oxygen level goes down, automatically you will find that the leaves and fingernails, okay, will turn to bluish. So this bluish color is due to the deficiency of oxygen, because the person is not able to breathe proper. So these are the symptoms that will be seen in the person suffering from pneumonia. So my dear student, with this, today we have learned two common disease in human. That is, number one is typhoid and number two is pneumonia. So next class we will proceed with other common disease. So thank you.